Hi, this is Damon Tinnen from www.mygedlive.com and the Get Your GED Now test preparation series. The next video you're going to see is an actual clip of a live GED math prep session with a student and myself. I want you to notice two things in this video. The first thing I want you to notice is the process that I use working with students. I don't just simply show you problem after problem after problem and you watch me do it and I say yes or no, do you understand that? But watch how I work with the student to actually have the student show me their thought process so that as they are walking me through the problem, I can provide the corrections that are necessary to build up the skill, build up the confidence, and help redirect the student. So then at the end of the session, you're not thinking, well, how did he do that? No, you're thinking, how did I do that? Because you've actually saw it. And then the benefit of our live online sessions as well is that you get a copy of that session that you get to use to review after the session is over. The second thing I want you to recognize in this video is the structured way in which I show you how to break down these problems. There's a two-step method. I think if you've been watching my videos, you're probably familiar with it, but there's a two-step method that I show you how to break down these GED word problems. Finally, I just want to encourage you, the month of May, the month of June, the month of July, we're teaching live GED classes online. So I'm online here in my studio at my whiteboard. Then I have my students from New York, Florida, Pennsylvania, Texas, Portland, and then good old California where I'm from, and we're just working on the board, we're talking, we're conversing. It's a very lively session, really getting down to the root of your questions. So if you're interested in joining in with us in that way, feel free to contact us at 707-385-1680. I'll say that again, 707-385-1680. Now, please enjoy the video.
Okay.
All right, let's keep on pushing. Number two.
Number two, okay. Beth needs 875 square feet of linoleum to complete her kitchen floor. Each piece of linoleum is 2 feet by 1.5 feet. How many pieces of linoleum will she need to complete her kitchen floor? So how many pieces of linoleum will she need to complete? That's the ID the question. Now, is this a basic shape issue?
Yeah, there are some elements of that in it.
Okay. How many pieces of linoleum will she need? So do I have to draw like a square?
Do you have to do what?
Do I have to draw a square? I'm not sure how to do this.
No. Yeah, you don't have to draw a square, but you do have to. There's another shape there to draw.
Because it says square feet, so I was thinking you have to draw a square. All right, what am I doing wrong? I don't know this one.
Okay, so remember that square footage doesn't necessarily refer to the shape square. It refers to the concept of area, how many square feet. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's a square. It just means that square footage is the measure of area. Mm-hmm. Now.
Okay, so the area is 875, correct?
Yep. So that's the area of the kitchen. Okay.
So you're going to do 875, not times 2 times 1.5, is that right?
No. You're on the right track.
I told you I'm bad at math.
So, that's all right. That's all right. That's why we're here. So So you're starting on the right track. You said that your goal is to find out how many pieces of linoleum it takes to cover this kitchen floor, right?
Right.
Now, so we know the kitchen floor is 875 square feet. Now, what else?
Right.
What other piece of information do we have in that problem?
Each one is 2 feet by 1.5 feet.
Okay. So now, just to give you a picture of that, if this was 2 feet and that was 1.5 feet, it looks like a square, but it's not, because whenever one side is, even if it's just a millimeter shorter, it's not a square, because a square is perfect. All the sides are exactly the same. This is not exactly the same. This is 2, and then this is 1.5. So what kind of shape is that?
A square.
This shape? No. So remember.
That little square.
Go ahead.
It looks like a little tiny square.
I know it looks like a square, but remember, this side is 2, and this side is 1.5. And remember, a square is perfect. All the sides are the exact same length. And so this one isn't the exact same length. So what kind of shape would that make it?
That wouldn't make it a triangle, would it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, you
Would
almost
it make
said
it like a triangle?
Nope, not a triangle.
Rectangle?
Rectangle. So remember, so a rectangle.
Now I'm just guessing.
So now you're used to seeing a rectangle look like this, right?
Yes.
Like that shape. Like if I showed you that shape,
Correct.
you say rectangle. But you got to remember that a rectangle is just simply when one side is longer than the other. That's what makes a rectangle. A square is when all sides are equal. So sometimes the shape might look like a square, but if it's not the same length, it's not. So this is a square, and that's a rectangle. And the difference between the two is that all the sides are the same. So the only way a shape can be a square is that if all the sides are equal.
Okay.
And if it's not, it's going to be a rectangle. So now, what's the area of a rectangle?
I don't have my formula. Oh, length times width. Okay.
Here we go.
I don't have my
Okay,
formula
so
page
now,
on me. My husband is going to grab it for me.
okay. So now, so the length of this rectangle, so this is the one that we're dealing with right here, right? So the length of that rectangle is 2, and the width is 1.5. So the length times width is 2 times 1.5, and so 2 times 1.5 is 3.
Right.
Okay, so now you have 2 pieces of information. You have the square footage of the kitchen is 875, and then you have each piece of each piece of linoleum is 3 square feet.
Okay.
So now what are you going to do with that information? So now all we're doing is stating the past. So we know that we need to find out how many pieces of linoleum will it take to cover 875 square feet of this kitchen. And now we found out by multiplying the length times the width of each linoleum piece that the total size of one piece of linoleum is 3 square feet. So if the kitchen is 875 square feet and then the linoleum piece is 3 square feet each, what do you need to do to find out the
You would
answer.
need to divide 875 by 3. Or how many times is 3 going to 875?
That's it. And you're going to get 291 point something, something, something. So we're just going to round that up. The answer A, 292.
Okay. Okay.
So the key
Okay.
thing here is that before we try to like start figuring out how to get to the answer, the whole key to what we're doing is just we're just getting all the information down. We're just, what's the question? What are the pieces? And then once you have the question clearly stated and you have the pieces clearly laid out, then you move into solving it. If you try to do it earlier, you can run into some difficulty.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way. I do. I panic and I try to figure it out.
Yeah, and that's exactly. I was working with someone earlier, and that's what he was doing. He kept on just jumping into it because he just wanted to get this thing done. But the problem was he was always missing just one little piece.